All right, this video is for you. If you ever wonder if the issues you're facing in your love life are really about them or maybe they're about you, stay tuned. We're going to talk about this and I'm going to share with you specific things to understand the difference between red flags and your self-concept, baby. Hi, everyone. My name is Velez. I am a former trauma therapist, now turned transformation coach, where I have had the privilege of helping thousands of incredible women transform themselves, reprogram their mind, because I teach you actionable, practical things that are rooted in neuroscience that actually are about you actually reprogramming your identity in love, your identity in life, self-concept, whatever you want to call it, all of it. So we are talking about this because so many people don't understand the difference, and that's why I'm here to explain it. So there's red flags and then there's self-concept issues, and I want to teach you how to know if what's holding you back in manifesting love, a healthy kind of love, is either your partner's behavior or something within you. And we understand that it's always something within us, but we're going to dive deeper in to help you uncover some patterns that you may be engaging in or not engaging in that are either going to let you know if it's still self-concept issues or if this is just old 3D that is still playing out. So what are red flags? Well, red flags in relationships can be real poor fucking communication, disrespect, emotional unavailability, any type of abuse immediately, and just, drug use, alcoholism, like things that people are doing, behaviors consistently and regularly that are not supportive of having a healthy, stable, secure type connection with someone. So this is never about perfection. This is about, if you're dealing with someone who's got severe anger issues and they're, screaming and raging all the time, that's a red flag, babe. And I'm going to dive in more deeper about, again, self-concept and more red flags. So it's important to identify and address red flags in relationships, and a lot of people don't. And so we need to understand what self-concept is and its role in your love life. And self-concept is how you perceive yourself, your worth and value. It's your way you view you in love. When you're dealing with a relationship in your romantic life, all you're doing is projecting that image of you onto them, okay? If you don't know you're worthy and amazing of more, then you will accept less. So it's so important how you view yourself and the beliefs you have about yourself when you're interacting in your love life. So we know that poor self-concept, and maybe some of you don't. So you're going to get a brief education or a brief reminder that self-concept can lead to attracting or manifesting and tolerating red flags in relationships. Sometimes what we perceive as a red flag might be more about our own fears, insecurities, or past traumas. So this is a general education type video. I am a trauma therapist. I worked with post-traumatic stress disorder, sexual trauma, all kinds of things, first responders for almost 12 years in my career, drug addiction as well. So this is really important. I've been saying this forever in all my videos on YouTube is your instincts you don't always trust your instincts. Now, I always tell people you trust your instincts when it comes to physical safety. Please don't ever question. I'd rather you just get out of a fucking situation and then find out later that you were totally wrong about it. But because we don't want to question physical safety. But anything else, emotionally, our insecurities, we're carrying in, the past wounds, our baggage from our past into the new love life, the new relationship. Those instincts are not usually correct because they're rooted in the programming of our past that says negative things about us and says negative things about love and things like that. So you have to differentiate between actual red flags and self-concept issues. So we know that you have poor self-concept if you're seeing red flags. So let's cover some red flags. Again, there's many. Everybody has their own idea for themselves of what is a red flag. So red flag to me is somebody who lacks integrity, who is super inconsistent with, who they say they are versus how they actually show up and how they're presenting, lying, cheating, stealing, doing criminal behavior, drug addiction, alcoholism, emotional unavailability, lack of self-respect. Like, these are all red flags to me. Now, when I had poor self-concept, some of those things I would turn a blind eye to. Even though I said, no way I'm going to be with someone like that. I would make excuses and justifications. Also, red flag is fucking any form of abuse, verbal, emotional, mental, physical. Get the fuck out of that. Reprogram your shit. You need to do some work on yourself, and no longer when you meet people or versions of past people come back in your life, if they're demonstrating abusive behavior, they've not conformed. So you're not going to stick around and get abused waiting for them to conform. I want to make that real clear, because you guys need to love yourselves more, to not let someone abuse you, and empower yourself so that you can actually get what you want and move out of that version of you that thinks that this is all she's worthy of. You also need self-reflection. Okay, guys, self-reflection's fucking huge, because without it, you don't have the self-awareness. You're not understanding what's happening in you, and you're not going to be able to understand yourself. I've been saying for years too, know thyself. This is what I had to do. I had to sit down and get real fucking honest with myself. I had to stop lying to myself. I had to stop distracting myself. I had to stop making excuses and understand, who am I? When I'm in love, what is the type of person I am? And I realized, I'm insecure. I don't feel worthy. I'm always trying to earn love. And this was all subconscious, that I'm always pushing people away, or creating drama or chaos, or doing the pulling and then pushing, pulling and pushing. And I'm also very drawn to that in other people, that I needed constant reassurance that I never felt like I mattered or I was a priority. Like, there were so many things about me that I had to face and get honest about. So you need to understand your self-concept, the truth of how you really see yourself. And a lot of you lie to yourselves, and you'll tell yourself, I just see myself. I know I'm worthy of this. But then you're over here accepting breadcrumbs and accepting scraps. So no, then it's, you don't believe it. Because someone who knows their worth does not settle for less than their worth. Period, point, fucking blank. There is no negotiation with that. So here's some quick ways to really understand that it's your self-concept. It's one, if you're still continuously manifesting in the same patternized relationships where you end up feeling the same way and you're feeling insecure and you're still being the same you, it's definitely self-concept and you're feeling unworthy of love. If you actually are recognizing that you feel unworthy of love, and you're finding yourself, when you do manifest in people who check off all the boxes, where you're not settling and they're emotionally healthy and they're giving you what a healthy, consistent form of supportive interaction is in building a relationship, and you are freaking out from it and scared of it and feel super overwhelmed by it, it's self-concept, baby. And if you find yourself, again, turning a blind eye, making excuses for a version of someone in your life, new or old, that is consistently demonstrating a lack of integrity, demonstrating whatever your red flags are, demonstrating disrespect, demonstrating emotional withdrawal from you, whatever, then it's a self-concept, because only people who don't know their worth and value, like I said, settle and stay stuck for less than what they truly want. I know, because I was her, babes. I was her. I lived that version of me my whole adult life until I fucking changed it a couple years ago. So signs that it could be an actual red flag, right? Instead of self-concept issue, is if there's someone who's a version of someone who's showing up being very disrespectful, but you're not tolerating it, right? So then you know it's the person, like, whatever, this manifested in. A lot of you don't understand this, and a lot of people don't teach this because they don't have the awareness themselves. You have to understand something. How I'm so good at what I do and why people actually get transformation with me and get the results they want is because I know all the nuances, not only because I've worked with tens of thousands of people over my 15-year career as a trauma therapist and coach. it really went into massive effect when I had the other missing piece, which was self-concept. And I'm the one that led the movement in the manifesting SP community and manifesting world about the power of self-concept. And so I went through it myself, and now I'm able to add that in terms of all the other ways that I know that reprogram people and get them the results they want, being a cognitive behavior therapist, cognitive processing therapist, and it's fucking powerful. So what a lot of people don't understand is they don't know the nuances because they either haven't done the transformation themselves and they don't have the skill set to understand how to take people on a deeper level to get them true, significant transformation, life-changing, manifesting results. What I was going to say earlier, prefacing with that, is this is why it's not talked about a lot in the manifesting community and why I keep talking about it, because I want it to spread like wildfire because it's truth, is even with good self-concept, you can still manifest in versions of people that don't align with it. You just won't entertain it. You may get them out immediately, or you may let someone linger a little bit longer, but you still cut them out pretty quickly. I just had this recent in my own life, and it wasn't in my love life. I'd manifested someone in, and so this person came in, it felt like a good fit. And I had an experience with them where I'm like, oh, no, I don't roll like this. There's no integrity with this person. They're lying a lot. They're not who they say that they are. There was a lot of misrepresentation and just a lot of negative things. And so I got this person out of my life pretty quickly, but I still did look at, I should have got this person out even quicker, So like what was going on with me that even though it's still quick, which it really was, and it was an unfolding, it didn't all these things didn't become so obvious and apparent immediately. It was little trickles here and there. And I started seeing patterns. And so I was recognizing like, oh no, this is not good. So I had to make a decision and remove this person out of my life. And it was the best fucking decision I made, but I don't beat myself up for it. And so everyone that's doing these channels all over, I don't care what social media on, nobody's fucking perfect. And we're all still evolving and growing and figuring it out. I just share it because I'm real as fuck, and I'm teaching you as I keep learning and evolving and growing more, and I'm able to really dig in with those nuances because I do self-analyzation, self-awareness, and self-reflection constantly on myself. So even if you manifest something in that is not aligned with what your vision is for you, who you say you are, right, and where you're going, it doesn't mean that you have self-concept issues. You'll just know if there's self-concept issues if you did all the same things you did before, if you're still the same you that you were in the past relationships, if you still ignored the same signs like you have always done in the past, well, then you haven't changed, baby. So it's a definite self-concept. How you know it's the version you manifested in and it's not your story of you is no, thank you. You act different. You don't tolerate what you used to tolerate, and you remove this person out of your life and say that's not okay, right? So sometimes that will happen. Sometimes you can, be manifesting going to a new job and your previous boss was a real asshole, and you manifest and you got a coworker who's a real asshole, right? So here's a pattern showing up. Are you the same version of you experiencing it? Because if you're the same person and feeling the same way with the same thoughts and same beliefs and same actions in your 3D with the disrespectful, abusive coworker that you were with the old job and the old boss who was disrespectful, then it's a you issue. You understand? But if you act different, think different, believe different, and handle yourself differently and take different actions in the 3D in regards to this new situation with the disrespectful coworker, well, then you're changing. So you'll get a fucking different result. So we have to really understand these things, that you can still manifest in things that are not aligned. If you're manifesting new jobs, you can manifest in opportunities don't match. That happens all the time, forever. Forever since I knew law of attraction and then I evolved to law of assumption, I always manifested in whenever I started focusing on a new job or new career, because I used to be an accountant. I was a waitress, an accountant. Then I became a therapist and I'm being a coach. So what I would do is when I started focusing on, manifesting a new experience for myself business wise, whatever career I was in, I'm always getting different offers from people. When I'm manifesting more money in my businesses, right? I was getting that through my business, but other ways I was receiving more money and not all the ways were aligned. So if it doesn't match how I want to accept the money, then I don't fucking take it. If it matches, then I take it, right? And so it's the same thing with people and love and all kinds of things. You're still going to have 3D delayed. There still will be other people that may come into your world. It's how long do you keep them? How long do you tolerate? So you have to understand these things so you can start addressing them and getting different patterns and actually get what you want. So how do you deal with red flags, right? So first thing first, you got to stand up for your worth and value, right? So the most important work is your beliefs of your worth and value, whatever that looks like. And then if someone's coming in your life, I don't care what area of your life, and they don't fit, they're disrespecting you, they're not treating you with kindness, whatever your worth and value says, in this area, this is how I want to be treated. Well, then why are you tolerating them? And you got to look, it's a case by case thing, depending on what the situation is, all these different things. Yes, we have to change the story of people, but your self concept trumps the story of other people. And I've seen this so many times in my life, and I see it in other people's stories too, a million times over, that when my self concept has certain beliefs about it, even when I can see the person in a good way, I still create an experience that has to mirror back to me my self-concept. So then I exited out of that situation and then did more inner work on myself so that I continue moving forward. And it was the best thing I ever did. So if you're not setting boundaries and protecting yourself, then it's a self-concept problem, baby. So you can have an honest conversation. I don't have any problem with anybody holding anyone accountable. And maybe you'll have the conversation 2 times, but girl, the 3rd time, you gots to get them out. You got to understand you have a version of someone that is not aligned, and there's something in you that's reflecting this back. And if you keep tolerating the experience, it'll continue and nothing's changing in you. So you have to really understand this and learn how to navigate it. So you need to do the daily practice. This is about taking actionable steps to actually rewire your mind, rewire your emotion, and rewiring your choices and your behavioral patterns in response to how you cope with your fear, how you cope with your insecurity, how you cope with your feeling of unworthiness, how you cope with the belief that you're losing something and all the triggers that come up with it. This is why it takes self-awareness, actionable steps. You have to change the mental diet. You have to change the way you're feeling about your state, because changing your feeling is changing your state. And you have to make different choices and new habits or actions in your daily life so that you become this new you. This is literally what rewiring is. So I love you all. Know this helped you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.